All right, I got a bunch of really short segments here I want to
Sure.
do with you. These end up being little TikToks and stuff, and then we'll get you
Sure.
off to the airport. Um, the first one's called "Did You Know?" Can you tell us something that your fans may not know about you?
Well, I am an old movie buff.
Okay.
I love to sit and watch old movies. Really and truly, I love Jimmy Stewart and I love John Wayne and gosh, I love movies. Well, I love all movies. I think any entertainer will tell you that most entertainers also love to be entertained.
Yes.
It's not always at a concert. It could be a great movie or a TV show. So I'm quite a TV addict and movie addict.
As an artist and creator yourself, are you more critical of other art? Do you think?
Probably so.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, very, very much so. I have to be very careful of that sometimes.
Yeah, I understand. I can't imagine. Next one's called Mount Rushmore. Who would you put on your Mount Rushmore of country artists?
Haggard, Jones. Oh wow, Elvis,
Hmm.
and probably Waylon Jennings.
Now that's a great list. Elvis is an interesting choice. His country years. I like that.
Well, he gave us some great country songs,
Sure
but he
did.
gave us great gospel music
Yeah.
too. He was such a lover. He was such a devout Christian guy.
Hmm.
And I mean, he and I would sit and talk about the Bible all the time. He would quote me the scriptures. I mean, really, he was a smart guy. But I think those four probably had the big. Well, maybe one other one would have to be probably Roy Orbison
Yeah.
because he was such a unique
Another
voice.
crossover.
Yeah,
Yeah.
another crossover. So it would be difficult to pick it, but that's a few of the names I
Yeah,
would
it's
love to
tough.
know.
It's tough. I love that question. All right, next segment's called "What the Heck." This is just rapid fire, 5 questions. Just tell me the first thing that enters your brain. First one: What was your most awkward moment on stage?
I was on stage in Atlanta, Georgia, and I had on a white linen suit. And that's back when I thought I was Don Johnson of Miami Vice. And if you'll know that if linen gets wet, your skin sticks to it.
Yes. Yeah.
And I'm standing on stage in front of 50,000 people, and I look down, and my entire pants was wet. And I thought,
Oh no.
I know that I haven't gone to the bathroom standing here.
Yeah.
And I look in the front row, and there's a kid with a water pistol. And
That's
he is wearing me out with that. And of course, that was probably one of my most embarrassing moments, but moments that stick out the most on
yeah.
stage.
Thank God there was no TikTok then, right?
Oh Lord, thank gosh there wasn't.
All right, next one. Let's see here. What is your weirdest talent?
My weirdest what?
Talent.
My weirdest talent. My weirdest talent is that I can remember people's faces.
Hmm.
Names don't always come to me
Yeah.
because you meet so many people, but if I meet a person and talk to them for a moment, there's something about them that if I meet them again years later, I know I've met them before.
Interesting.
Now, on with Garth Brooks, he remembers their names as well because he took a course that taught him that.
Yeah.
But I remember faces.
Nice. All right, number 3. Where do you think squirrels go during hurricanes?
Squirrels,
Yeah.
hopefully in their trees with their nuts.
I don't know. That wouldn't seem like a very safe place during a hurricane, though.
Where do squirrels go during a hurricane? It's the strangest question anybody has ever asked me.
That's
Where in the
why
heck
it's
did
called
you
"What
get
the
this
Heck,"
question?
TG. That's why it's called "What the Heck."
Uh, Hopefully somewhere safe. That's all I can say is
They better learn
in
how to
ground,
dig,
on
huh?
this ground, you know.
Yeah, they better learn how to dig. All
Yeah,
right, number 4. What are you most afraid of?
the devil. I'm a very spiritual guy, and he's running pretty rampant right now.
Yeah.
But that's very scary because I'm a strong Christian, and I think that's my biggest fear. is I don't fear him really because my power is much greater with God.
Yeah.
But the devil is a fearful thing, and you need to be aware of him, that he's
Agreed.
there.
Agreed. All right, last one on this. Most controversial, perhaps. Do you like pineapple on pizza?
Yeah.
All
I
right.
want pineapple on anything.
Heck
I mean,
yeah.
I will sit in the kitchen here where I'm sitting now at my kitchen table and eat a whole bowl of. I'm a pineapple connoisseur. I love it. And yeah, but on pizza, yeah, even on hamburgers with a cheese
Yeah,
melted.
it's good. I love it. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I love it. All right, next one's called One Artist. Who is one artist you wish the whole world knew about?
I wish the world knew about Jimmy Buffett.
Nice.
One of the kindest, most talented, brilliant writers and businessmen that I've ever known.
Nice.
He was just a great guy. He's a guy that everybody needs to study and listen to his music and what his life was. He was a pilot. He just a very smart man.
Just a great storyteller, too.
Yes,
Golly.
I would. Yeah,
Yeah, very underrated storyteller.
yeah.
Um, what is the biggest lesson you've learned directly from music?
I think is to never give up. Uh, we live in a world and a society now where people tend to want to beat you down if you have a dream.
Hmm.
I bump into people all the time, Boston, that will come up to me in the autograph line or meet and greets and say, you know, I always dreamed of being who you are and what you do, a singer. But it passed me and I got older. And my advice to them, that person when they say it is never give up on your dream
Hmm.
because it's never too late in life to be who you might have been.
Right.
So stay with it.
It's funny you say
Person,
that. Tony Arata, who wrote the dance, the huge
yeah,
iconic hit for Garth Brooks,
right.
um, got to talk with Johnny Bench and of the Cincinnati Reds, and Johnny told him that he always wanted to be a songwriter. That Tony was
Really?
living his dream, and Tony said, "It's funny because you're living my dream. I always wanted to be a
Yeah.
baseball player."
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I've been blessed to have had him as a friend too, Johnny Bench.
yeah,
So yeah.
very cool. All right, next one's called Moment of Gravity. I can't wait to hear this from you. Everybody has that moment in time that changes their life more than any other. Kind of changes the trajectory or path that they're on. For you, it might have been music, obviously, for what you ended up doing. Can you remember that time, that moment that kind of changed everything for you and led you to where you are today?
Yeah, I was probably 11 or 12 years old and 13, and I was listening to Roy Orbison. And I loved his voice, I loved his music. And it was actually two people that I really went to school on. Charlie Rich was another one,
Wow,
a
yeah.
great singer from Memphis. So I guess that's two things right there that really altered my life and changed me and made me turn toward being an entertainer.
Yeah, great answer. What's your best advice for young artists today?
My best advice is just to dream big, dream small, and be small.
I love that. And
Because the bigger you dream, the bigger the dream. And I've always been a big dreamer. Uh, I have told my wife that when I go, I want on my tombstone, dream big. I did, and I was lucky. Uh, Mac Davis was one of my closest and dearest friends. And when you say that, something comes to mind that I haven't mentioned in years. Mac was here at my dinner table one night, a few days before he passed. And I looked at him one day and I said, what do you want written on your epitaph on your stone? He said, TG, I think what I want on my stone is I am now decomposing instead of composing.
yeah,
He was just a funny guy. But I
yeah.
don't know what that came to mind, but I had to share that with you.
Man, another great songwriter. You just dropping
Yeah.
all these great songwriters. Mac Davis
Oh, they're all
was
dear friends.
amazing. Man, I love that guy.
They were all dear friends to me.
Yeah. All right, man. Next one's called Grateful. I got two more. This one's called Grateful. What are the three things you are most grateful for?
I am grateful that I live in the country I live in. I travel the world and I see the world, and I look back when I'm in other parts of the world and I see America, and sometimes we take it for granted.
Mm-hmm.
We are all so blessed to be able to live here and to be free. So that to me is the most important.
And two more?
Um, I think I think the gift of music to me uh, is something that I appreciate so much because on a bad day, music can turn it into a great day.
Yeah,
Okay? So that's important. That's very powerful to me. And the other thing is God.
I love that. All
He's
right.
the most important thing in my life.
Last one's called Who is TG Sheppard? So who is TG Sheppard?
A guy that got lucky, who had a dream and never gave up.
Man, I think it's a little more than luck. Just knowing how to pick great songs, knowing how to deliver great songs.
Thank you.